Okay, this is a quick demonstration on what to do when you get your fresh installed dialer untouched by us in any support level. Very, very simple. Once you get given your IP address, you go to administrator. The default username will be 6666 and the password will be 1234. Click login. At that point, you click on continue on initial setup. Then you get to change the passwords for demonstration purposes. If we set up your dialers, it will be call center, CNTRE, VOIP, okay? And we will copy that into all settings within your dialer. For initial purposes, this dialer is hosted in Australia, which will make it a +10. Alright, and you submit that. At that point in time, we will have a new password, which means now we have to log in again. Okay. So now we will log in under the new username, which now is 6666 with a password of call, center, VoIP, or whatever you have chosen. Okay. First thing you want to do is you want to make yourself a open access username. Click on show users, add a new user, admin. For this purpose I will continue call center as the password. This is what I will give to people that get us to set up their systems. Select number 9, select admin Vicidials, submit it. At this point you want complete open access as the administrator, so you change everything except for this one here to a 1. Keep on going. 1. Oops. 1. For me, go through and change the extras. This is a complete open access administrator which can do any changes within the dialer. Be careful if you have IT people, this is not the access you want your staff to have. You can restrict them by placing 0 on any one of these. There is another demonstration on how to do that and what is recommended. Okay, we'll submit that. Now we have a full accessible username, so we can log out and log back in under that username. Call center. At this point, delete your 6666 username. This is not one that you want in the system. Delete this user, then go up the top and delete user. Okay, then you just have your own. Next thing what you want to do is make an admin template. Sorry, a agent template. Agent template, they can be restricted. User level, just 1. Change the user group to administrators. At that point, the initial, you can change everything to a 1, which gives them access to most of their features except the closer default unless you got inbound. And underneath all this you can keep as zeros and that'll stop them getting access. Submit that. And there is your agent template. We will continue with the next video. Okay, I'm about to show you how to install your G729 codec on your fresh installed hosted dialer that we supplied. First thing, you'll need two programs. You will need PuTTY and you will need WinSCP. You can get those both from our download area. At that point, log into PuTTY. Username will be root. The default password will be Vicidial. You can then change it to whatever you want. Very, very simple. Once you log in, put PASSWD, enter your new password. Anything we set up for you, we will place it as call center, CNTRE, VOIP. Re-enter it again. That changes your password. Then WinSCP, same thing, root. For us, we've just changed it to call center, VoIP. On initial install, it is Vicidial. We log in. Alright, now in our download area, you would have had access to your, downloaded your codec. First thing, on the left area, this is your computer. On the right area, this is your Vicidial. First thing, find your codec. So go up a folder. In mine, it is in my downloads area. Find it. Alright. And this is it here. Codec underscore G729-AST14-ICC GILIBC important, this one, X86 underscore 64. That means it's a 64-bit system. Our hosted dial is a 64-bit, not 32-bit. Core 2 SSC4. Alright, now the folder you need to place in your Vicidial. So you go up to your root directory, double click on here, alright? Then you go down to the bottom of the folder and you will see USR, you double click on that. At that point, because it's a 64-bit system, you will see lib64, you will double click on that. Now, as you can see, the direction of your folder directory will be here. When you click on lib64, it will take some time for the simple reason that it's got to go through a lot on a hosted system. So just be patient on letting it open up. Anywhere from 1 minute to 5 minutes and it will open. I'll just pause it while we're getting into it. Okay, it has just gone into the lib64 folder. That took probably about 3 minutes for me, and I'm on a reasonably fast internet connection, so give you an idea. Once you're in the lib64, you can see we're in user lib64. You go into asterisk. You then open modules. Alright, you can only have one codec in the system at one time. Okay, get your codec, drag it over to the right hand side and drop it, and then copy it. Alright, once it's copied over, we then have to load it. So we've just copied the codec into the right directory, into user lib64 asterisk and modules, and now we can actually load it. So find it just to make sure it is there. There you go. Okay, need the name of it. Click on it once, stop. Click on it a second time. You'll now be able to rename. Get all of the information that's there, okay, including the SO at the end. Control C, copy it. Okay, go to your PuTTY from your root directory. asterisk minus R, asterisk, space minus R. That's the directory. Then the true thing is load, LOAD, space, right click, and it will copy the file name into it. You'll type load space, copy the file name, push enter. What you will see at that point is this purple. Is this purple? If you see that, your Codec has been successfully loaded, and you can now move forward from that point. Hope you enjoyed this area. We will continue. This has taught you how to load your G729 Codec from our supplied hosted dialer systems. Thank you very much, and we will continue in a second. Okay, we're now going to show you how to set up your call center VOIP into your dialer as a after you've signed up for an account. Now remember, you must go to callcentervoip.com. You must sign up for an account. Your hosted dialer is locked to callcentervoip.com, so you must sign up for an account. You will get an email and you will receive a username and password. This is how to set up your hosted dialer once you have that username and password. First thing, you go to callcentervoip.com, go into the FAQs, and then you will see set up Vicidial or softphone. Scroll down a little bit, and just under this dialer settings you will see an area that is designed for you to copy and paste into your dialer. Okay, and this is where the information you'll want. Alright, so we're going to go to your dialer. You're going to click on admin. You're going to click on carriers, and you're going to click on add new carrier. Okay, then it's just a matter of copying and putting in the right spot. Carrier ID, and everything has a heading. Make sure you have no spaces before or after the heading. Go to your second one, which is carrier name. As you can see, one is in uppercase, one is in lowercase. Make sure there is no spaces. Next thing is registration string. You'll place that in registration string. You will then get your account entry. Make sure no spaces. Copy into account entry. You will then get your global string. Put in global string. Now decision time. There's a setup here for calling Australia. 3361 means calling Australia. 331 means calling US. You can choose one of them, you can choose both of them, or you can choose however you want. For this demonstration we will grab both of them. Put in your dial plan entry. No spaces. The 61 is for Australia. The 331 is for USA. At this point you will just submit it to save it. Now you would have been emailed at the setup of your VoIP account the registration details. Okay, you would have a username which is a 4-digit number. You will have a password which I believe is a uppercase lowercase 10-digit number. You will get your username. Okay, your account number could be, for example, 1206, and you will get that number and you will copy it here, you will copy it here, and you will copy it here. 3 places. Username. You will then get your password, and you will get that password and you replace these X's here, and you will replace these X's here. Okay, make sure this colon is not touched. You are only touching the X's. Okay, once you replace this area here with the username, the account name, and the password here and here, alright, you will just save it, and that's it. It is done. Activate, yes, submit. Now obviously I haven't put my username and password in, so I won't be able to see it connect, but the bottom line is in about 1 minute, if once you're in asterisk R, okay, as you can see, my VoIP is now reachable with or without the account. If we go SIP, show peers, we can see that it has connected to my VoIP supply. Okay, so keep that in mind. At that point, you'll be able to make a phone call. Now by default, it's a 3-3 dial override. Alright, so that's my example. It's 3-3 dial override. For example, if I was calling the movie line, I would dial 33121277734456, and it would dial the movie line as per standard. Activate it, push submit, and that's it. The carrier is then active and ready to use, and it is that simple. You can now buy VoIP and make calls after we continue the setup, but because G729 codec is installed, we're ready to go. Okay, we'll move on to the next demonstration. Okay, we're now going to show you how to set up your soft phone. Now, this is very important that you understand this. When you have a hosted Vicidial on external of your local network, you must connect your soft phone to the dialer with a G729 codec unless you have ample spare bandwidth. Now, a G729 codec will run at 16 kilobits per second. A G711 codec, which is the industry standard, runs at 128 kilobits per second, which is over 8 times more bandwidth. So the concept here is you cannot use X-Lite. You must use something like iBeam or Bria or a G729 based soft phone. You must set up your dialer so you can connect from your soft phone to the dialer with G729 codec. We've already set it up from the dialer to the telco at G729, but you must set up your soft phone, and this is how to do it. First thing you do is in your admin, okay, you'll see an area called templates, okay, in SIP generic, you will add 2 lines of text, okay. You will make allow equals all, no spaces, allow equals G729. Disallow equals all, allow equals G729 in SIP generic, in templates under admin, and submit. Okay, so that's our main area. Now we can make some phones. For testing purposes, we click on phones and we add a new phone. Now, base that this is high security and only authorized IP addresses can get access to these dialers. We're able to be light on the security. If you have your own dialers outside, you cannot use such basic passwords as I'm giving. Okay. As a matter of fact, this is the wrong video for you unless you're using our hosted services, because you will get breached extremely quickly. Which is why this hosted service is offered to people, is to get away from the security breaches that everyone tries to hack into these things. Okay, phone extensions. We're going to call this test 01. The phone extension is test 01. And we make everything. We're just going to make everything test 01. So the extension's test 01, the passwords are test 01, logging into the dialer will be test 01, and we will submit. Okay. Once we do that, this is how you get G729 connectivity from your office to my hosted dialer. Scroll down the bottom of your soft phone. Template ID. Drop down. SIP generic. Submit. Done. Nothing can connect to this dialer other than a G729 codec. Soft phone. Make a new one. Add a new phone. We're going to call this test02. Oops. Alright, once we do that, we submit it. Then we scroll all the way to the bottom. Now, right now, a soft phone will connect to this dialer on G711 and use 8 times as much bandwidth. If we drop down this template ID and select SIP generic and submit that, it is now using G729. That's it. That's that simple. At that point, we can add in the accounts. 202.174. Okay, and our soft phone has now officially connected. And you can see in here, test02 is now reachable. Now, if the carrier was set up fully, we could now make a phone call from simply going 33121277734456 for Vicidial. For USA. And if I dialed that, it would work. This will fail because the carrier is not set up properly. Okay, selected it, but it's not actually active, so this one's not working. For Australia, you would add 33617310727772, for example, and that will fail because the carrier is not active. But in general concept, adding a phone takes 3 minutes. Templates, you must put in disallow equals all, allow equals G729, and that's pretty much it. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to show you how to make a campaign. Okay, so click on campaigns, add a new campaign, call it a name. This one's called template. Vicidial administrators in this one. I'm just giving you what my standard setup would be. Minimum hopper level, I would have about 200. That's good enough for about 10 to 15 staff. Next agent call, last call finish, and I'd normally run them 24 hour. Auto dial level, depending on how many staff you've got, maximum 2.5. That'll, if you're running 10 staff or so, you'd really want to run it at about 1.5, 1.2 to 1.5. Okay. Right now, list order, I would always randomize it, so you can add new lists with old lists. Random every second new. Dial method on this one is run at ratio on 2.5. Dial timeout, I would not go any higher than about 27. Dial prefix, this is important, 33. This matches your dial plan if you've used my dial plan. So 33. Caller ID, you can basically leave it blank or add your own caller ID in there. If you want to record, I'd probably go all force. You don't want everything to record, so I'd give it about a 10-second delay, just enough for your agents to get rid of all the answer machines and rubbish. That's pretty much it. At that point, you go submit. Then, for as far as calling back your leads a second time, different call statuses. This is what I do. I'd pick A for answer machines. I would not worry about AA for answer machine auto. I would get B for busy. I'd normally do callbacks unless you do have your callbacks set up as a priority list. Drop calls. Error agent busy. You'd also want no answer. And finally, you generally want no pitch by price. So this would be a standard setup of something that I would use. Now it's in a template. Next time you want a new one, you could go copy campaign, get this, and make your own. That's pretty much it. Campaigns, and that'll be enough to get you started. Just activate it and you're away. And that'll conclude setting up campaigns. Okay, just to go over a couple of other points before we finish off this. If we go into admin and we go into system settings. Now every Vicidial as a standard install is set up to dial a maximum, oops, wrong one, go into servers, Vici. Okay, this here 23 as a standard format, they're set up to dial 23 phone numbers at a time, which means the 24th, 25th just won't happen. This must be changed. Now obviously these are scalable hosted dialers, so you can literally dial up to 100, and that's what I reckon. You change this up to about 100, maximum calls per second up to about 100, and that will allow you to run a good 30, 40, 50 man team without too much of an issue. But in its format before, it would have only dialed 100 people. Let's check. As I said, until further notice, these dialers are hosted in Australia. That means you must have them set up to a +10 time zone, which is here. Default local +10. Otherwise you may have issues. It's hosted in Brisbane, Australia as current. Later we will get the US rollout. Now, just to be crystal clear on our hosted dialers, prices we are offering are extremely competitive. The prices start at $45, which should handle up to roughly a 10-man team, and then you can just double and triple everything as you're going. So $45 is a 1 gig processor, 1 gig of RAM, 90 is a 2 gig processor, 2 gig of RAM, and so on up the scale. So you can just buy what you need. You are paying for hosted services only. You are not paying for support, and we do not offer support as a part of it. If you need support, you must buy support credits, which is currently charged for a limited time at $75 for an hour, reduced from $100. Okay, so if you need any work done to your dialer from anyone within our group, it is $75 an hour, and you have to pre-buy that before we even look at it. Now, I've given you full instructions of what we would normally charge $80 for doing. Okay, so you now know exactly what you need to do to set up your dialer. However, it does cost $80 if you get us to do it. Alright, so right now you're able to make phone calls. Now this is based on security. That's why you would get this service from us. Tens of thousands of people hack dialers all day, every day. The only people that can get access to this dialer is whatever IP addresses you gave on your application form, and outside of that no one can get access, which means it's very secure. However, the VoIP account that you put into it can be taken from your dialer to a third party, so make sure your staff are trusted and understand there are risks. You can go into your VoIP, log into your VoIP, you can change your password at any time. Okay, so to be clear, we do not offer free support. It is paid support. It is a paid setup. You will be issued a predictive dialer on a monthly rate, and you will just get billed per month. If you contact us, you must buy some support credits before we will touch your machine. We restrict it to a few minutes worth of question and answer. That's it, and I thank you very much for your time, and I hope our dialers do serve you and grow for your industry. And signing off, and if you've got any problems, you can get us on Skype anytime. Thank you.